Hello, music fans. I found this cool website called the Progspace.com that's doing awards for 2023 Prog, Progspace Awards 2023. And I figured I'd share my screen and make a video of myself voting so you can see my picks, and I'll share a link to these awards in my description so that you can all play along at home and vote for your favorites as well. So the first category I'm going to be voting for today is Album of the Year, Progressive Metal. We've got some cool nominees: Anubis Gate, Interference, DGM Life, Obsidian Tide, The Grand Crescendo, Catatonia, Sky Void of Stars, Earthside, Let the Truth Speak, Haken Fauna, Mask of Prospero by Hireth, Clone, Meanwhile, Okay Goodnight, The Fox and the Bird, Ramage Inc., Humanity Has Failed, and The Ocean Holocene, and Voyager, Fearless, and Love. Now, these are all the ones here that I've heard are great. I haven't heard DGM, and I haven't heard Mask of Prospero or Ramage Inc., but I've heard all the rest. Love them all. My choice is going to be Haken Fauna. But maybe I'll talk for a brief second about some of the ones that I think they're missing here. They're missing Avenged Sevenfold, Life is But a Dream. That was my favorite album of 2023. I think it's prog metal. And then I don't see No Spoon here with Opus, which was my second favorite. I would have picked both of those over Haken, but Haken's my number three album of the year, so I got to go with my third choice. Um, if I were to guess, I'm going to guess that they're probably going to win the fan poll here, but that's cool. If I had to pick a second one, I would go with either Earthside or I think Okay Goodnight, actually. Okay Goodnight is a great one. It's their second album, and I'm guessing they're not going to win because Haken's in the poll, but it's really good as well. And then Earthside would be my number three. Or wait, maybe the Ocean. Oh, it's tough. Actually, maybe the Ocean's my number two, then Okay Goodnight, then Earthside. Anyway, these four are definitely my top four here. Then maybe Catatonia, then Voyager, then Clone. I also like Anubis Gate. So those are all the ones that I've heard. Oh no, I heard Obsidian Tide. This is hard to rank these. But yeah, my choice is Haken, so I'll go to the next one. Now we're doing Album of the Year, Progressive Rock. So we got Moon Safari, Pattern Seeking Animals, Peter Gabriel, Riverside, Southern Empire, Merrickvist. This is one that I haven't heard. Stephen Wilson, Subsignal, Chronicles of Father Robin, Vulture Industries. I don't think I heard. Lumpsk and Lalu. Okay, so I've heard all these except for two. My pick here is going to be Moon Safari, Himmler back in Volume 2. But I want to quickly also touch on what I think they're missing in this list. They're missing Bear Ghost, which I would have probably picked. Their great album, Jiminy. They're also missing the Deer Hunter with Migrant Return, though I could understand them leaving that off because it's kind of pre-existing material that's just redone. But I love that. And District 97 is also missing. I would have probably picked them over Moon Safari as well. That might not be a popular choice. But for this set of nominees, I've got to go with Moon Safari. If I have to predict what's going to win, I actually think Moon Safari will probably win here. Oh no, Peter Gabriel is really popular. He might win, or Riverside's pretty popular. Probably one of these three will win: Moon Safari, Peter Gabriel, or Riverside. Oh, Steven Wilson. Oh, he's pretty popular too. Okay, so one of those four will win. But it's got to be Moon Safari for me. My second choice on here would be Riverside, and then third choice would be Lalu. But I liked all the ones on here that I heard. I will admit I'm a bit disappointed with Peter Gabriel IO. Everyone seems to love it. I think it's good, but I don't know if it's worthy of album of the year progressive rock. And same thing with Steven Wilson, the Harmony Codex. It's fine, but it's not as good as some of the stuff he's done before. I don't think it's worthy of album of the year. It sounds really good though. All right, next category. We're doing album of the year in extreme prog. So, okay, that's an interesting category. We've got Anima Tempo, which I have not heard. Panopticon, which I've heard. Enslaved, I've heard it. Stork Dragon, I feel like I heard the album before this, but not this one. And I really should hear this because it sounds like it'd be something that I'd really like. Todd Heimsgard, I've heard it. Ignia, heard it. Svalbard, I've heard it. Neo Obliviscaris, heard it. Insomnium, heard it. Omnirod, heard it. The Arcane Order, I did not hear. The Zenith Passage, I did. Okay, so I've heard everything on here except Anima Tempo, Stuart Reagan, and the Arcane Order. So I'm missing three. But of the ones that I've heard, I'm gonna have to give this one to Ne Obliviscaris, Exul. I saw them live in 2023 and they were great. The album's amazing. My runner-up here probably be Omnirod, The Immensal Rise, then Enslaved Heimdall, then Dodd Heimsgard, Black Medium Current. But I also really like Panopticon, really like Svalbard, really like the Zenith's Passage, really like Ignia. Uh, Pretty much like everything I heard. Even Insomnium would probably be my bottom pick out of the ones here that I've heard, but I still like it. Good picks. All right, album of the year, instrumental. I'm not as much of an expert on the instrumental music. So there's a lot of these I haven't heard. In fact, I've only heard Ozark Tentacles, Arch Echo, and Hackberry. I think I've only heard those three and I didn't hear the others. Of the three that I've heard, I would pick Arch Echo, Final Pitch. And then my runner-up would be Hackberry, then Ozark Tentacles. Arch Echo, Final Pitch is a really great album, amazing virtuosic keyboards. I think keyboard player from this band should be keyboardist of the year. Now we'll talk about album of the year in the experimental category. I'm not sure how, like, King Gizzard and Lizard Wizard, Petroglyphonic Apocalypse is in the experimental category rather than prog metal. I think might be a better, prog metal would probably be a better category for this particular album. So I'm not sure how they decide the categories, but anyway, that's cool. I have not heard Monica Rosher Big Band's album or Joe Quayle. I haven't heard Tardi Grande Inferno or the Hirsch Effects album or A Flying Fish or Bell Witch, but I've heard the rest. And my pick's going to have to be The World is Quiet Here by Zon. This could have been in extreme prog or prog metal as well, but I could see that it's pretty experimental. It's pretty all over the place. My runner-up would be King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard with Petroglyphonic Apocalypse, and then probably Sigur Rós. So this is like questionable whether it's even prog. It's more post-rock. Then at fourth pick, I'd probably go Seven and Pale. But I like everything here. I think Sleep Token's overrated, but it might win because it's really popular. SHRVL was more like ambient from the keyboardist of the Ocean. You'll see the artwork looks a lot like the Ocean Holocene because I think it's like a companion piece. I don't think it should win. I don't think Sleep Token should win, but it looks like if I had to guess, it probably will win. Let's go to the next category, EP of the year. A bunch of these I haven't heard. I haven't heard Maruja or MMXX. Is that 2020, like the year 2020 or something? Stream of Passion, I haven't heard. Tardigrade Inferno, I haven't heard. I have heard Pliny, Mirage. I haven't heard Dissona. I heard ACT, haven't heard Ash Breather. Haven't heard Asymmetric Universe. I've heard Exploring Birdsong. This one's really great. I've heard Eson, also great. Have not heard Loam Featherbrained. So my pick here for EP of the year is going to be ACT with Falling. But there's definitely some EPs that I think they're missing here that I would pick above it. So I think they're missing the Callous Dow Boys. Not sure if they count as prog. They're more mathcore, but if they were here, I'd pick them. And then Lunar Chamber, which is an extreme prog metal band, had a great EP. I picked them. And then Po Hawk, the great guitarist who has played with Native Construct and made some solo material. I think his EP is great. I would pick that over ACT as well. And there were so many great Toe Hider EPs that I would pick over this. So I think they're missing a lot of great nominees here, but I think ACT's EP is still pretty damn good. So I'm happy to pick it. All right, debut album of the year. Here's where we have No Spoon Opus. So that's going to be my pick for sure because that's my second favorite album of the year, my favorite debut. My runner-up here would be Ocrist with the Approbation, then Temic, then Enoch Root, then the Anchoret, and then Einar Solberg, then Nuclear Power Trio, then Flesh Vessel. Lots of great debuts this year. I have not heard Hamasari or Helga or Neverus or Ophelia Sullivan, so I can't comment on those, but all the ones that I have heard that they picked here are just great. So I think they made a good list here, but No Spoon Opus has to be my winner. All right, live release of the year. I'm half tempted to skip this category because I don't listen to live albums that often. I much prefer studio albums. So a lot of these I probably haven't listened to at all or haven't listened to in full. But I see some bands here that I love. Porcupine Tree Closer Continuation live. I saw them live on the tour for that and it was amazing. So that could be a winner. Orphan Land's a great band. Transatlantic and Devin Townsend and Leprous. But I'm probably going to go with Devin Townsend here because he's amazing. It's a bit tough to overlook Porcupine Tree, though. They might deserve my vote. Leprous is also great. Orphan Land, Transatlantic. Those are probably my choices. The other ones, I've heard of Pliny and a lot of the other ones, and I've heard of Ulver. But the other ones I haven't even heard the name, so I don't know Mesa or Prehistoric Animals or Abraham Sriracha or Chaos Divine or Countless Skies, so I can't comment on those. All right, cover artwork of the year. This is an easy one for me. It's Hake and Fauna. I love the chimpanzee, the elephant painting, and just the animal theme. But all these covers are great. I love them all. Great artwork in Prague. That's for sure. Let's go to the next category, music video of the year. This one's tough because are you supposed to go based on the song? Like, does the quality of the song matter for the video? Because for me, like, I like watching music videos for songs that I like the most. Like the music video that I like the most is going to be the one that has the song that I like the most. But I mean, if it's going by song I love the most, then on this list it's Haken's Taurus. So that's probably what I'm going to vote for. But I don't know that it's the best video. Like I look at this, I feel like the Enslaved video and the Steven Wilson video are better videos. But I'm a Haken fanboy and I love the song, so I'm probably gonna vote for Haken Taurus. And I haven't heard 633 or watched it, haven't heard This one, Brie. I don't know what this is even called. Le Temps Perdu. It's a French one. A Flying Fish, I have not heard. Hamasari, haven't heard this one. Calandra, I haven't heard. Kairos, I've heard, and that's great. I haven't heard this Monica Rush or Big Band or Prehistoric Animals. Stuart Reagan, I really have to hear. This looks like pretty awesome animation too. But I'm gonna pick Haken. Love the song, and for me, that's what makes me want to watch a music video if the song is really awesome. But I understand that if somebody else picks Steven Wilson, I think it's deserving, or Enslaved, or Kairos even, or Stuart Reagan. That looks pretty awesome. I'm sure these are all great videos. Performance of the year on vocals. So for this one, I see right away, I have to pick Daniel Tompkins. I did this category on my own YouTube channel for male vocalists, and he won. But I'm tempted to pick Einar Solberg. He's amazing. I'm also tempted to pick Mike Mills from Toehider. He is probably actually the best on here, but if we're just going for their performances in 2023 specifically, I think Daniel Tompkins might have a little edge because he did really well on Tesseract's The War of Being. But if we look at their whole career, I think Michael Mills, his versatility and variety and his ability is obscene. So he's probably the best vocalist on the list. Einar Solberg's up there for sure. But another one who's great is Philip Rich from No Spoon. I don't think he has a chance of winning because it's just a debut. They've just done a debut album so far, and he's against some heavyweights here. I'm guessing Daniel Tompkins will win, but maybe Einar Solberg will win. I'm not sure. But I'm going to go for Daniel Tompkins of Tesseract. Now, guitarist of the year is, oh, this is a tough one. I don't know why they split up the Haken guitarists, Richard Henshaw and Charlie Griffiths, because how do you pick between them? It's a tricky one. On my channel, I made a video on this, and the spoiler alert for that is that I combined Richard Henshaw and Charlie Griffiths into one, and I gave them the combined guitarist of the year. But I don't know how I could pick one over the other. So, because their skill in their playing is how they play together and their interplay between their playing. Because of that, I'm actually going to go with Benjamin Barrett from Nailed Viscaris. His guitar solos are amazing. I've voted for Haken too many times already. So Nailed Viscaris, Benjamin Barrett is going to get my vote. But Voyager's great. Pliny's great. I haven't heard Yes Nomura from the Resonance Project. I have not heard Federico Vese from Asymmetric Universe. Riverside's great. Temec's great. Ola England's great. Obsidian Tide's great. And Per Nilsson of Scar Symmetry. Oh, he might actually technically be the best on here, but I like the compositions of Haken and Nail Viscaris better. So I'm going to go with Nail Viscaris, Benjamin Barrett. Keyboardist of the year. I mentioned this already. It's got to be Joey Izzo, Arch Echo. I'm looking at this list, though. I think they're all really great choices. I think I've actually heard everyone on this list. This is maybe the first list where I've heard everybody. My runner-up here would be Vikram Shankar from Silent Skies and Redemption. But Richard Blumenthal from Aviations is amazing. Peter Jones from Haken's amazing. Diego Tejeda from Temec, who used to be in Haken's, amazing. Everyone on here is so good. I think the Peter Voigtman from The Ocean is more of a atmosphere setting kind of keyboard player, not like a shredding virtuoso like Joey Izzo. And I think if you're picking keyboardist of the year, it can't just be atmosphere. I think you have to have the virtuosity and the technical chops, so I have to go with Joey Izzo. But I love what he does in the ocean and his atmosphere. Uh, yeah, I think it's great. And I think Lindsay Ward from Exploring Birdsong and Einar Solberg are more like singer piano players types rather than virtuoso keyboard shredders, but they can play really damn well as well. And I love their style. I think they're both great. Exploring Birdsong's great. Einar Solberg solo album's great. But yeah, Joey Izzo's gonna get my vote. Performance of the year on bass guitar. I did this concept on my channel already, and I picked Martin Garatoni of Nea Obliviscaris. Apparently, I'm a Nea Obliviscaris fanboy, and I keep picking them. My runner-up would be Amos Williams of Tesseract, but of course, Connor Green from Haken's amazing. Linus Kloseditzer from Alkaloid's amazing. I haven't heard this Asymmetric Universe, but I might have to check it out. Unprocessed is great. Aviations is great. Haven't heard Resonance Project or Hirsch Effect. Riverside is great. Voyager's great. And Obsidian Tide is great, but it's going to be Nea Obliviscaris for me for bass. And for drums, I also picked Nea Obliviscaris, Dan Pressland. My runner-up here would be James Norrell from Aviations. Oh, he also played in the Anchoret too. Wow. That is awesome. I didn't know that. But a lot of great drummers here. Omnirod was great. The drums on Einar Solberg are pretty great. Never heard of this guy though. Kelly Good Johnson. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Ray Hearn from Haken's great. Bard Holstad from Leprous. Although they didn't put out studio material in 2023, so I guess this is for his performance on the live album. The Ocean's great. Temek's great. I don't remember if I heard Night Verses. It sounds familiar. The Arcane Order, I don't think I heard. Earthside's great. Saw them live recently. They're great. Obsidian Tide is great, but it's got to be Nea Obliviscaris. And then the last one, Performance of the Year, non-traditional rock instrument. This is a cool category. I didn't make one on my channel for this yet. Karina Brewer flute on the Anchoret. That's pretty cool. War Guitar by Jason Blake. I don't know if I heard him playing this. Joe Quayle cello. Not sure if I heard that. Daniel Sassy flute on the Yossi Sassy and Oriental Rock Orchestra and Obsidian Tide. I've heard both of those, and that's great. Juan Ignacio Varela Espinoza on alto saxophone on the Anchoret. Really great job on that. I haven't heard Monica Roscher Big Band. I have not heard Cynosis. Raphael Wenroth Brown does great on cello on Einar Solberg. Sivlina Waterloo Logtug on violin and loops is pretty good. But I'm going to have to go in the Obliviscaris again. Tim Charles on violin is just amazing. He also sings. Yeah, I voted for Nea Obliviscaris and Haken a lot in this poll, I realized, but I just love those bands. I can't help it. I didn't hear Art Against Agony and Yossi Sassy playing Buzikitara. I don't even know what that is. I heard the album and it's pretty awesome, but I'm gonna have to go with Tim Charles on violin. And I'm gonna hit the vote button, lock in my votes. Hope everyone played along at home and picked their favorites. And yeah, everyone vote so that the best people, the most deserving people win each award. I think they're going to announce the winners after voting closes, and voting closes March 3rd. Hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what your picks are. Let me know your picks down in the comments because I'm interested to hear what everyone picks. And let me know what you think of my picks. You can trash talk me or whatever you want to do. Comments help help the YouTube algorithm. So I'm cool with trash talk. Get down there and let me know what you think. And stay tuned for next time. Peace out.